Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. I want to talk about ozone generators. I want to talk about how to remove some nasty odors and smells from a vehicle. This video will not be about what is the best ozone generator out there, Scott. Let me tell you something about ozone generators. And a lot of these companies, they have a lot of hype, they have a lot of claims that really aren't true. But I want to talk about how you, as a professional detailer or as a consumer, can use CO3 effectively. CO3 is ozone gases that are created naturally by the earth. If you notice, I have an external ozone generator outside this vehicle, and it's being piped into the vehicle at a high level, right up above, right below the headboard, or the headliner, excuse me. The reason for that is because ozone gases are heavier than air. They'll actually drop to the bottom of this car. So I want the tube to be high, to go across the headliner and drop inside the vehicle. If you're one who's using an ozone generator that has to be inside the vehicle and you close the doors, guess what? These companies won't tell you this. They're not all that transparent. The ozone generator needs oxygen, fresh air to be circulated through it to make very pure CO3. That's important. Also as well, the humidity is very important, even using an external generator. If your humidity is above 75 or 70%, your ozone generator will not be all that effective. So sometimes I will pull my client's vehicle inside their garage if they have one. I will close the garage door, use a dehumidifier to drop the humidity in their garage, and then run the ozone generator. Those ozone generators that you're putting inside vehicles can become problematic for a couple of different reasons. One, it can't draw fresh air. Two, a lot of guys will put them inside the car after doing a heavy cleaning. Maybe they have surfaces that are wet, like the carpet, the headliner, all the fabric in the car. Well, guess what? Your ozone generator is going to be drawing that moisture through the machine, and you're indirectly, or you are definitely bringing some harm to the generator. Some of these ceramic plates don't like moisture inside them. None of them do, so you got to be really careful. Let me walk around to the other side of the vehicle and tell you how I prep this vehicle before doing an ozone treatment. This is important. Please forgive me for being shaky. It's a little windy, but I'll get over here to the other side of this car where we'll be out of the wind, and I'll go over this with you. Now, for me as a professional detailer, again, I'm just using this as a demo. This is my own car, so please forgive me. It's a little dusty. If you notice, the ozone generator, the tube is right there, so it can blow across the headliner and drop inside the vehicle. Now, for me as a professional detailer, 95% of the people who call me with bad odors are typically smoke odors. This happens because a client has bought a used car from a dealer. The dealer has probably scrubbed all the surfaces, cleaned all the glass, used a carpet extractor on the carpet, cleaned all the surfaces. They're masking that odor. Hopefully within the next 30 days, they'll sell the car, the client buys it, and then the client notices a week later, oh my God, it smells like smoke. The dealer wasn't honest with me. Folks, in those particular cases, I want to make a very good point. If the car had just recently been bought by a dealership and it's used and it's been thoroughly cleaned, I know some people are going to have an argument with that. Dealers don't know how to clean things, but let me tell you something. If you are pre-treating, meaning you're heavily cleaning the inside of this vehicle, scrubbing all the surfaces with an APC, you're using a carpet extractor, your car shampoo or your car carpet shampoo may smell like bubble gum or some type of fresh scent. This is a no-no to use an ozone generator immediately after cleaning a car heavily. You want to know why? Ozone gases cannot determine if you have a good odor or a bad odor. It just goes after odor. So you want to use the ozone gas effectively and go after the smell that's bothering the client the most. If you have scrubbed this vehicle completely and used surfactants or cleaners that have scents in them, they'll be very powerful in the moment inside the vehicle, and your ozone gases will go right after those smells first and not go after the original owner or the original odor that the client is complaining about. Be very careful. If I had a dirty vehicle and we wanted to remove odors, of course, if it was a fish smell, I want to get the fish out, right? If the fish is still in it, you don't want any solid materials in there. You want to find the source of the odor and remove it. Then what I would do, I'd be very careful what I clean the surfaces with. I may just use warm water, a microfiber towel, and some type of soap that doesn't have any type of scent to it. Scrub all the surfaces down, make sure they're completely dry. The carpets will be thoroughly vacuumed, any fabric in the car will be thoroughly vacuumed, and the headliner will be thoroughly vacuumed. I do not want to use any type of cleaner that has scents to them or leaves the headliner slightly damp or wet, or the carpet, because ozone gases can't treat materials that are wet or damp. That's important to understand. If you also notice, this may sound silly to some of you guys, I've got the headrest up. Why? Because I need the ozone gases to travel through the headrest, or else it's not going to get to those materials. If you notice, the seatbelt here is completely pulled out. I've actually got it buckled in, and then I got this seatbelt completely pulled out, and I've got a little clip that's holding the seatbelt so it doesn't retract. You want to treat all surfaces of the seatbelts. Could you imagine, I haven't done it on that side, I'm just doing a demo, but could you imagine if you had all the seatbelts retracted into the B-pillar, C-pillar, and you didn't pull them out? You add all that material up, you've got a very stinky large piece of material that never got treated. If this was a smoker's car, trust me, that smoke gets inside those B-pillars and can make most areas of the seatbelt stinky. If you notice, I have the glove box completely open. I want ozone gases to get in there. The armrest is open. I want ozone gas to get in there. If you notice, the sun visors are completely down and straight. Why? Because if I had this up, I'm not treating the surface of the headliner directly behind it. Make sure you pull these down so the ozone gases can get all around surfaces freely. This is very important. Also, the floor mats, right? If I left the floor mats completely flat on the floor, even though I may have cleaned them, the ozone gases are not going to get in that carpet because the floor mat's in the way. I roll them up, stand them up so the gases can treat all surfaces around the floor mat plus the floor. Folks, this is very important. You got to think like an ozone gas and make sure it gets into all surfaces of the vehicle. Typically what I'll do is I'll run the ozone generator for about 15-20 minutes with the air conditioner on recirculate so I can get ozone gases into the ventilation system. I will then turn the generator off real quickly, reach inside this car, turn it off, and then start my treatment for an hour, 2 hours, whatever I determine is best for the odor I'm trying to attack. I want to talk about something, and this is really important, and this is where a lot of hype comes in with ozone generators and a lot of videos you might see on YouTube. Let me back out of here and move away for a second. Folks, a lot of companies who make ozone generators, they may be really great at making ozone generators that produce CO3, but some of their advice is really, really poor, because they're not all that bright. They don't understand how CO3 actually works in Mother Nature, and I'll explain to you why. A lot of companies that sell you ozone generators will tell you to treat the inside of the car for an hour, 2 hours, a half hour. They'll tell you to pull the tube, pull the foam, and instantly open the car out and let it air out. Folks, this is the biggest no-no. These people have no idea how CO3 actually works in Mother Nature. Plus, I've seen them where they've treated a car for an hour or two, pull the foam, pull the tube, open it up, and sit inside the car immediately. Folks, do not do this. The ozone that is created by the machine can remain active for 30 to 40 minutes inside the vehicle. If you sat inside that vehicle immediately after a treatment and went, yay, I don't smell anything, you're going to get a sore throat, runny eyes. Ozone gases could be potentially harmful to the user or the one that's sitting in the car. What I do, I take a cue from Mother Nature. This is the biggest tip on the planet, folks. I don't mean to use the word planet too often in this video. Think about how ozone gases work in Mother Nature. Let's say it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in your town. It's sunny. A thunderstorm rolls through your town for about an hour. You have heavy lightning. The lightning is releasing CO3 into the atmosphere. That lightning storm travels through your town for 1 hour and it moves away. All of a sudden the sun comes back out. Folks, what I'm about to tell you is going to make you much more highly effective with an ozone generator machine. When you are done with an hour treatment, a 2-hour treatment, pull your tube, release your foam blocks, close the windows, do not open the car, and now I want you to get the car in direct sunlight, or hopefully it's already in direct sunlight. Why? Because Mother Nature will take CO3 that's been released from a thunderstorm, and when the sun comes out, it makes that third atom, within CO3, much more effective of neutralizing an odor and completely encapsulating it and destroying it. Folks, if you do a 1 hour treatment, 2 hour treatment, pull the tube, pull the foam, close the windows, let the car bake in the sun for the same amount of time you did an ozone treatment, and take a cue and a tip from Mother Nature. Let it get warm inside there. That makes that third atom of the CO3 much more effective and much more potent to be able to remove odors. A lot of guys that make these machines are not awfully bright. They may be bright at making CO3 in their machine, telling you how to get it in there, but a lot of the advice they give you is just complete nonsense because they haven't done their scientific work on how ozone works in Mother Nature. I love you all. I hope this helps you out. Incredibly effective at removing odors like smoke odors, fish odors, you name it. But sometimes you want to try to go your cheapest route. Thoroughly clean the car first. If that gets it, wonderful, because these machines are expensive. But if it didn't get it, then you need to use this thing appropriately and understand how CO3 gases actually work, not only inside the car, but as Mother Nature produces itself, to be able to be effective of cleaning its own atmosphere or the ambient air. Love you so much. Talk to you soon.